Assalamualaikum and hi. So today our group will present the topic of the approach of manpower planning in manufacturing sector. So we will proceed with the first presenter.
Hi, my name is Shaira and I will present about the overview of manpower requirement approach. The basic axiom of the manpower requirement approach is that there is a clear connection between education and economic development, and that a shortage of skilled manpower is sufficient number stifles growth. The approach attempts are made to predict the needs of a trained workforce for the future to reach the gross national product goal in the future or the real target for industrial output. The following are the basic steps in this exercise. Number one is participate the direction and magnitude of development of each economic sector. Next, changing labor norms in each industry in relation to technology choice for each, for each sector of the economy, using sector-specific labor norms to translate physical goals, estimating the workforce educational needs, and lastly, analyze the estimate consequence of trained workforce needs for educational growth. According to the past research, Ho and the others used the manpower requirement approach and found that the amount of manpower needed to generate the same unit of production in a time frame has decreased and production growth outpaced employment growth, indicating higher labor productivity in manufacturing and other industries, especially among the highly skilled. Alignment indicate that due to the high final demand capacity between the manufacturing sector and subsectors, Malaysia has a lot of room to grow its domestic demand and export to the countries in the region. The approach first limitation is that it assumes that educated labor of various types is usually a fixed rate and there is no way to swap between different types of educated labor. The second limitation is that it assumes a clear connection between industrial responsibilities and educational attainment. In this form of education planning, price does not play a role in balancing demand with supply of educated workforce, whether in terms of cost creating an educated workforce or in terms of educated people's salaries and wages. Lastly, the presumption about the uncertain future is a significant constraint of all forecasting exercise. Any blunder in this situation will have a significant impact on the workforce balance at a later date, resulting in excess supply or excessive demand. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum. I'm YAKUB alias Alex. So next I will present the characteristic and the information of the approach. First, the manpower requirement approach was popularized in early 1960 for the use in the Mediterranean Regional Project of OECD. The objectives of the approach is to provide data on the present situation of labor market as well as expected changes, and second is to examine the effect of various policies, and last is to determine the future implication of current occupational trend and labor structure. Next, this approach assists in the macro level forecasting of labor demand. The basic assumption of the approach is that there is a strong correlation between education, economic growth, and a shortage of skilled labor. For the basic steps and limitation, my friend already explained just now. So I move to the next point, which is the approach has been heavily criticized for assuming a stable relationship between the quantity of goods and the amount of labor. Last but not least, despite the limitation and critique, the approach still has a huge number of followers among policymakers and other professionals. Next presenter.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is SHAMIRA. I will present the challenges of manpower requirement approach in the manufacturing sector over the labor demand. Over the employer perspective, they need or employ a worker who can achieve or maintain on the level of production, reduce in labor turnover, the effective of manpower resources that can do multitasking tasks, and someone who capable with the program on the development of employee. Next, on the 2000, the number of people being employed in the manufacturing sector have been declined due to the technical and professional skill labor. Even various of program or activity have been done to improve the skill of manpower. Third is factor that affected on demand for high level of manpower requirement due to the terms of professional, skill level of worker and managerial employee. That can be conclude professional and skill level of worker is the most important in challenges in order to contribute increasing in output of manufacturing sector in Malaysia. Next, I will pass for the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, my name is NOORIDAYU. For our group project, we are referring to two journal articles to do the case study and data. Case study under Third Industrial Master Plan, published in 2012, written by B. Tinpu, Zakari Abdul Rashid, and Muhammad Khairi Sham Hassan. The paper attempts to forecast future manpower requirements in industry by different occupational categories under Third Industrial Master Plan, and it utilized unpublished data from manufacturing survey and Malaysia input and output table. The method of forecasting is based on MRA manpower requirement approach. To summarize, the result of the analysis showed that the over a period has decreased, implying on an increase in labor productivity in manufacturing sector. Part 2, entitled Measuring Labor Productivity Through Labor Requirement Approach, the Malaysian Experience. This paper was published in the year of 1997, written by Zakari Abdul Rashid and Chan Ka-yu. The study uses two input-output tables for two difference to ensure that the results are more consistent. The results of the study tested by comparing them with the ordinary measures of labor productivity, such as value added per labor, salaries and wages per labor, and output per labor. Although for the whole economy, direct labor requirement appears to be the consistent measure of labor productivity. For some sectors of the economics, indirect labor requirement is also important. That's all for the summary of the case study. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Noor Aspidiana. I will present the last part is a conclusion. As a conclusion, the fundamental assumption of the manpower requirement approach is that education and economic development have a direct link and that a scarcity of a skilled labor can slow progress. The limitation of the educated work of different sort is consumed at the set rate and there is no mechanism to shift between different forms of education work. Workforce planning is a sixth approach to societal demand, written of approaches, workforce requirement, quantitative method, quality method, and a combined strategy. The labor requirement method is frequently taken by national planner and the Lena association between the workforce strategy in various industrial group and the product was noticed. That's all for me. Thank you.